Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our virtual classroom. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. In this explainer, we're going to master a skill that is, quite frankly, totally vital for your everyday life and your career, and that is the fine art of making appointments in British English. Now, the British are pretty famous for their politeness and their punctuality. Honestly, a poorly scheduled tea time is practically a national crisis over there. But seriously, whether you're scheduling a doctor's visit, a quick catch-up with a friend, or a massive business presentation, knowing exactly how to propose, negotiate, and confirm times is going to make you sound so much more confident and natural. So let's dive right into this, shall we?
We've all been there, right? Staring at a packed planner, realizing that getting our calendar perfectly aligned with someone else's takes incredibly clear communication. Booking meetings confidently isn't just about, passing some grammar test. It's a real-world survival skill. Actually, one of the most common mistakes I hear my students make is losing their confidence entirely when trying to find a matching time with a coworker. And what happens? It leads to this endless, painful back-and-forth email chain. Nailing this specific language helps you navigate your personal and professional life smoothly, and crucially, it shows real respect for the other person's time. And that is exactly what we're going to nail down today.
So here's our game plan for today's lesson. Number 1, welcome to class. 2, prepositions of time. 3, real-world conversations. 4, syllables and word stress. And finally, 5, let's practice together. All right, kicking things off with section 1. Welcome to class and getting started. I want to introduce you to our example student for today. Meet Lila. Now, Lila has a seriously packed, totally overwhelming schedule. Imagine managing a calendar like hers. Getting the time, the day, and the place perfectly communicated is just absolutely vital to keeping her week running smoothly and, honestly, keeping her stress levels down. For instance, she has a meeting at 3:30 in the afternoon on Wednesday. Listen to how specific that is. I want you to start thinking about your own weekly meetings right now. When are you busy? When are you completely free? Kind of keep your own schedule in the back of your mind as we move forward. Moving right along to section 2, prepositions of time. We're talking in, at, and on. Okay, let's organize this scheduling chaos. The rules here are actually very clear, and I want you to think of them sort of like a funnel. We're going from the widest, most general time all the way down to the sharpest, most specific moment. So we use in for broad periods of time. Think of big, vast things like months, years, or entire parts of the day, like in the afternoon, in June, or in 2022. It's a big bucket of time, right? Then we use at for a precise, exact point on the clock. This is your pinpoint accuracy, like at 2:30 or at midnight. And finally, we use on for specific days and dates. Picture a square on a calendar, on Tuesday or on the 1st of May. So let's lock in that core concept. Broad period is in, exact time is at, specific day is on. So let's do a quick pop quiz to immediately test your understanding of those rules we just went over. I'm going to read 3 time expressions, and I want you to literally say the missing preposition out loud, right wherever you're sitting. Ready? Which preposition belongs in these blanks? Blank Saturday, blank 9 a.m., blank 2025. Think carefully about our funnel. We've got days, precise times, and broad years. Take just a second to lock in your answers. All right, let's see how you did. For Saturday, which is a specific day on the calendar, it's on Saturday. For 9 a.m., an exact pinpoint time, it's at 9 a.m. And for the year 2025, which is a massive, broad period, we say in 2025. Now, notice how New Year's Day uses on. This is a really great detail because even though it's a holiday, it still represents one specific 24-hour day on the calendar. Meanwhile, the winter and the evening use in because they're broad periods of time that span over hours or months. If you got those right, fantastic job applying that grammar foundation. Let's jump into section 3, real-world conversations, featuring Anne and Paolo. Before we listen in on our example colleagues, let's map out the logical strategy of negotiating an appointment. Because you rarely just guess the exact right time on the first try, do you? Step 1 is to propose a time and date. Step 2 is absolutely crucial. If someone is busy, a flat no can sound super abrupt and, a little rude. So politely rejecting the time and immediately counter-proposing keeps the professional relationship warm and productive. Finally, step 3 is confirming that final agreed time so there's zero confusion later. This is the basic scaffolding of the conversation, so you know exactly what to listen for. Okay, here is step 1. Anne starts the conversation. Notice her super polite opening. Hi, Paulo, I'd like to meet with you.
She's stating her goal very clearly, but softening it nicely. And notice her phrasing at the end of the sentence. On the 22nd of February, she correctly uses on because she's talking about a specific, exact date on the calendar. Perfect.
Now for step 2. Paulo can't make it, but notice his really natural phrasing. I'm sorry, I'm busy then. He doesn't just give a blunt no. He softens the rejection and smoothly follows it up with a counterproposal. How about Tuesday in the morning? And look at that. He uses in beautifully for the broad period of the day, the morning. This keeps the whole negotiation moving forward without any awkwardness. So, after a little back and forth, they hit step 3, the confirmation. And this, honestly, brilliantly illustrates exactly what we've been talking about today. Paulo's sentence here is literally a masterclass. Perfect. I will see you at 2:30 in the afternoon on Friday. I mean, wow. He manages to use all 3 prepositions in a single sentence flawlessly. We have at for the precise time, in for the period of the day, and on for the specific day. If you can master this one sentence, write it down, practice saying it, you've pretty much completely mastered English scheduling. Quick pro tip before we leave this conversational section, let's expand your vocabulary just a tiny bit. Consider the direct approach. Can we meet? Now, there is absolutely nothing grammatically wrong with this. It's perfectly correct. But native speakers will very often use natural alternatives to sound just a bit more conversational and polite. So instead of a direct can we meet, try asking, when are you free? Or maybe, when are you available? It opens up the floor to the other person beautifully and feels way less demanding of their time. All right, moving to section 4, syllables and word stress. This is all about sounding natural. You see, knowing the right words and the grammar rules, that's really only half the battle. To be clearly understood, we also have to sound natural when we're actually saying them out loud. When we speak English, words are divided into parts called syllables, and when a word has 2 or more syllables, one of them is always stressed. But what does that actually mean in practice? It means saying that specific syllable just a little bit louder, maybe a little higher in pitch, and a little slower. Take the word Monday. 2 syllables, mon, day. The first syllable is the stressed one. We don't say Monday, we say Monday.
So, let's do a quick vocal drill right now. Getting this rhythm down is the absolute key to sounding confident, so I want you to jump in and participate fully. I'm going to say the word, slightly exaggerating that stressed syllable, and then I want you to repeat it right back to me. Ready? Morning. Now you try. Afternoon. Your turn. Evening. Go ahead. Department. Give it a try. Great job. Did you feel how the emphasis completely shifted to noon and afternoon? That specific musicality, that rhythm, is exactly what makes English sound like English.
Let's keep that momentum going with just a few more essential words for scheduling. Again, I'll speak and you repeat. Really listen for that primary stress. Midday. Try it. Midnight. You're up. Meeting. Go ahead. And this last one is 3 syllables with the stress right at the very front. Possible. Give it a go. Excellent work. Keep practicing this rhythm so the next time you have to schedule a meeting, your delivery sounds perfectly natural and totally effortless.
And finally, section 5. Let's practice together and apply all this knowledge.
Let's categorize just a bit of extra practice vocabulary together, kind of reinforcing the rules we learned one last time. The school holidays, well, that's a broad multi-week period, right? So it's in the school holidays. 1 p.m. is a pinpoint, precise time on the clock, so at 1 p.m. Friday is a specific day on the calendar, so on Friday. Winter is a broad season, so in winter. Now, the end of the day, this one tricks a lot of students. Even though the day itself is long, the end of it is treated as a precise, specific point in time, almost like the stroke of a clock. So we say at the end of the day. And finally, Saturday is a day, so you guessed it, on Saturday. Okay, now it is your turn to speak entirely on your own. I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and I want you to actually answer them out loud wherever you are right now. Seriously, useful sentences. Ready? Question 1. Do you ever work late at night? Go ahead and answer. All right, question 2. When was the last time you got up at 10 a.m.? Let's hear it. Answering questions like these out loud, actually formulating the response in your own mouth, is literally the best way to move this grammatical knowledge from your short-term memory directly into your active, usable vocabulary. I want to leave you with this final thought and a bit of a challenge. Think about your own calendar for the upcoming week. When are you free to practice your English next? Is it in the evening? Is it at 8 a.m.? Is it on Sunday?
I want you to make a concrete, specific appointment with yourself to study, using the very prepositions we just learned today. Treat that appointment with yourself just as seriously as you would a major business meeting. Thank you so much for joining my class today. You've done fantastic work, and I really look forward to seeing you in our next explainer. Keep practicing, and I will see you next time.